Hello, welcome to the 2021 Colorado Mesa University's Holocaust Awareness Series. I am pleased to introduce our 18th annual series. My name is Vincent, Dr. Vincent Patarino. I am the Associate Professor of History here at CMU and the creator of the series. Last spring, due to the pandemic, the series, along with our annual construction of the Field of Flags, was canceled, and everyone hunkered down into their homes against a virus that few of us truly understood. Thanks to my co-director, Dr. Adam Rosenbaum, our modern historian and instructor for the Upper Division Holocaust courses, we decided that rather than postponing the series one more year, we would present an online greatest hits of the series, spotlighting some of the most innovative and informative presentations from the past few years. What you will experience this week is the result of Dr. Rosenbaum's initial vision. People always ask me, why did you create the series and why in Grand Junction? When I began teaching at CMU during the fall of 2003, I was still living mostly in boxes. It was a hot August, and the crickets were hiding behind many of the boxes, chirping like crazy all night and keeping me from sleeping soundly. I awoke very early on a Saturday morning and found in my driveway a plastic bag with an 8 by 10 inch piece of paper and a rock, presumably to propel the baggie close to my house that I was renting. When I opened the baggie, I found that the flyer said that we white people needed to fight against the blacks. And that's not the word they use. They use the N-word. And the Hispanics, using the S-word. And the Jews, and be ready for a call to arms to run them out of our community. At that time, I was only in Grand Junction for a couple weeks, and I was literally horrified. Dorothy, you are not in Kansas anymore. But after doing some research, I found out that these flyers were turning up all over the state of Colorado, including the Front Range, where there had been incidents of graffiti being drawn on several synagogues in the Denver area. That spring of 2004, one of my mentors from graduate school, Robert Poyce, who taught German history, a course on the Great War, and a class on the Holocaust, passed away. He had worked for years with the local Hillel Jewish student group at CU Boulder to memorialize the Holocaust for most of the years I was studying for my master's and PhD. As a tribute to Bob, and as a way to channel the outrage I felt about receiving that disgusting flyer on my driveway, I pulled together several of my colleagues to create the first, what was then Mesa State College, Holocaust Awareness Series. The intention of the series has always been interdisciplinary, to bring awareness of the issues of genocide, and to perhaps move towards a world where never again had some true meaning. Over the years, the series has sponsored sessions about the roots of genocide and made an effort to bring awareness to all of the various genocides that have occurred worldwide. We have welcomed sessions that investigate how political anti-democratic forces, along with elements of religion, environmental degradation, and societal stress, have directly or indirectly led to genocide. We've struggled to engage with the question, where does the slippery slope towards anti-democratic movements actually begin? Where do we question the direction of societal change? When does it become genocide? And how do we build awareness to keep it from happening again? In 2007, we began construction each year of a Field of Flags outside of what was then the old version of Houston Hall, and then a few years later outside of the University Center. The Field of Flags provides us, in stark terms, a record of all of the various groups targeted by the Nazis during the late 1930s and early 1940s as, quote-unquote, the other. Groups that did not fit the Nazi view of political and racial perfection. Next year, we hope to bring back the Field of Flags, hopefully as we begin to move past the pandemic. In the meantime, I invite members of the campus, local, state, national, and international communities to take part in the series and view the great work by our dedicated and talented faculty. Today, on Monday, April 5th, 2021, at 9 o'clock a.m., 3 important presentations will drop on the CMU Holocaust Awareness website. All 3 of these sessions will be archived on our website for the foreseeable future. Here are the productions. Adam T. Rosenbaum, Associate Professor of History, The Holocaust, a Shoah like no other or just another genocide. This lecture will address the simple question, was the Holocaust unique or just an extreme example of a larger phenomenon? Barry Laga, Professor of English, representing absences, the Holocaust in memorials, monuments, and museums. This presentation will discuss the design, function, and impact of a collection of Holocaust memorials, ranging from early monuments built in Austria to recent counter-monuments in Germany. Sarah Swedberg, Professor of History, Holocaust Rhetoric and AIDS in 1980s America. This presentation examines the language of politicians and pundits calling for the government to imprison men with HIV or to tattoo HIV status on the bodies of gay men or intravenous drug users, as well as the activist response. It will focus particularly on the art of AIDS activists that invoked the Holocaust or the Nazi regime. In addition to these 3 sessions, the series will also host 2 sessions that will include a small in-person audience of about 20 people in Escalante Hall, room 102. These 2 sessions will be given before a live audience and also be live streamed on YouTube, and then afterwards be available on the CMU Holocaust Awareness website. The first one is Stephen Marino, Assistant Professor of Sociology. How is this still a thing? Contemporary Anti-Semitism in America. This will be on Wednesday, April 7th at 6:30 p.m. Dr. Marino's presentation will examine the nature of contemporary anti-Semitism and its beliefs. It will pay particular attention to how the internet and online communities have allowed anti-Semitism to exist and evolve in a new millennium, and there will be discussion following. And for our final session, it will be Tim Casey, Professor of Political Science, Hannah Arendt, The Origins of Totalitarianism, Lessons for Our Time. This will take place on Thursday, April 8th at 6:30 p.m., again in the studio in Escalante 102. This presentation will explore the lessons we might learn from the political philosopher Hannah Arendt in her original book, The Origins of Totalitarianism. This book, written in the aftermath of the Holocaust, attempts to understand how a modern, rational, democratic country like Germany embraced such a destructive ideology of hate. The rise of Nazi Germany, Arendt argues, was not a momentary lapse of reason, but a systematic and widespread acceptance of a set of political principles that dehumanized both perpetrators and victims of the regime. Could the signs of resurgence of totalitarianism be the future of our own politics? Once again, I'm pleased to invite you to view sessions on the CMU website, on YouTube, or a part of the CMU studio office. My thanks to the administration of Colorado University and President Tim Foster, the Department of Social and Behavioral Sciences, the Civic Forum, the CMU PR and Marketing Department, CMU-TV for producing these sessions, and my co-director, Dr. Adam Rosenbaum, and of course, all of our presenters for the 18th Annual Holocaust Awareness Series. Thank you all.